guys, so welcome back to Lex Reads. So in today's video, I wanted to do my anticipated reads for 2026. I have already started my list, and so far I have, let's see, six. And I told you guys, which we'll talk about it more next month when I tell you guys like what my plans are um, for 2026, reading year. But I decided I'm not going to do a TBR. I'm just going to just be a mood reader because that's what I am. And I want to kind of just focus on the anticipated reads and then basically just read what I want to read. Don't have that stipulation of, okay, this is your TBR. You need to read it because I get in moods. Y'all know I get on kicks and stuff. And yeah, I don't want to just be like held accountable for just reading those books. And I get a tiny bit defeated when I don't read the books that are on my TBR. And it's like, girl, it's not that serious. But again, I was looking through my list that are going to be coming out next year that I really, really want to read. One is by my favorite author of all times, y'all. Oh, this is my girl. You probably already know, but I'm so excited. So before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, so the first book is With Love from Harlem, a novel of Hazel Scott. And this is coming out January 27th. I am really excited about this because it's historical fiction. We are going to be learning about a Black woman that contributed to the music industry, that contributed to civil rights movement, just a pioneer in itself. And if you guys don't know anything about Hazel Scott was a jazz performer, and she basically was a prodigy. Or you guys have probably seen clips of her with two pianos from side to side, and she's playing both pianos. Like, who does that? Who does that? But I really am curious about her story. I did on my Instagram, if you guys follow me on my Instagram, which all the information is down below. I did a little mini documentary of her last year. There was a couple years ago, Dance Year of Harlem. They choreographed a dance about her life, and Virginia Johnson, who was the, I believe, is it creator director, artistic director from Harlem, from Dancing to Harlem years ago. She said that she had never heard of Hazel Scott and how it was almost like a shame how I never heard of Hazel Scott, and yet I'm in, the performing arts. And she's like, I know if I haven't heard, about this woman, I know, other people haven't, and a lot of people they didn't. So I'm curious to learn about her life. I'm also curious to learn about um, her marriage to Adam Clayton Powell. And if you guys know anything about him, he stifling. Okay, that's who he was. He did a lot of stuff. Next is one by my favorite author. I'm so excited about this, you guys. It is Keeper of Lost Children by Sadiqa Johnson. And this is coming out in February. February 10th to be exact. You already know I'm going to do a reading vlog. I'm going to be the first one to get the book. I did the exact same thing 2 years ago when she came out with The House of Eve. I called Barnes & Noble to make sure my copy was ready because they play games when it comes to Black authors, especially Black women authors, where the book can come out, its release date, and then when you go there, oh, they don't have any copies. We're not playing that game, okay? And I'm one of those people where I know you can pre-order the book, and that's really good for the author. Um, but I like y'all know I like to shop, right? And any excuse that I can go shopping, and I just love that feeling of when you have a book that you really want, especially if it's a new book that just came out and you get it the day that it is published. It's just a feeling that's undescribable. I want to experience that as much as possible. And it's been 2 years since she came out with a book. This one, it's set in World War II Germany, and you have three people lost in the streets of occupied Germany. Ethel gathers the proud wife of an American soldier, spots mixed race children following a nun. He feels compelled to follow them to learn their story. Ozzie Phillips volunteers for the army in 1948, eager to break barriers for Black soldiers. Despite his best efforts, he finds the racism he encountered at home in Philadelphia has followed him overseas. He finds solace in the arms of Jolka, a German woman struggling with a lack of resources and even joy in her destroyed country. In 1965, Sophia Clark discovers she has been given an opportunity to integrate a prestigious boarding school in Maryland and leaves behind her spiteful parents and the grueling demands. In a chance meeting with a fellow classmate, she discovers the secret that upholds her world. This I'm really excited about. It looks like we're going to get 3 point of views. And like I stated, she writes about real life people. I'm wondering, is this Ethel Gathers? Is this a real life woman or inspired by a real life woman? We already know we go get into the nitty gritty of it when I do my reading vlog. I'm gonna give y'all all the information because it's one thing I love to do is like research, especially when it's a new person and it's a black person that not a lot of people know about. I love that because again we have done so much and a lot of times we don't get the praise. Okay. Next is A Pair of Aces, and this is by Maria Benedict and Victoria Christopher Murray. And this is coming out June 23rd. And let's see what this is about. Which you guys know they write historical fiction. It's a gripping novel about two trailblazing women on opposite sides of the law, a prosecutor and a madam who teams up to bring down notorious gangster Lucky Luciano. Eunice Carter, assistant district attorney for the city of New York and Manhattan's first black female prosecutor, has her sight set on the one and only Lucky Luciano, head of New York's five largest organized crime families. Other prosecutors have tried to bring down Lucky, but they all focus on the crime, syndicated traditional businesses, bootlegging, gambling, a loan shark, and drug dealing or tax evasion. No one has thought to approach the mob through its hands in prostitution. Ooh, until Eunice. But she cannot get Luciano alone. Polly Alder has worked long and hard to build up her high class brothel business. Her client list is filled with well known names. That sounds familiar. Hmm. Both the famous and unfamous, who all know her booze is tip notch, her music fast rate, her food, and her girls the best. But Lucky has gone too far, putting her girls in danger. Polly finally sees the chance to end his reign once and for all. Together, Eunice and Polly fashion a case utilizing a network of women, bridging the infamous divide between them and risking their own lives. Oh, this is going to be so good. The next is Kin by Tayari Jones. This is coming out February 24th. I'm so excited about this because the last time Tayari Jones wrote a book was in 2018, and it was like her breakout book, An American Marriage. Two lifelong friends whose worlds collide after many years apart in the face of devastating tragedy. Bernice and Annie, two motherless daughters raised in Honeysuckle, Louisiana, has been best friends and neighbors since earliest childhood. They are fated to live different lives. Raised by a fierce aunt determined to give her a stable home in the wake of her mother's death, Vernice leaves Atlanta at age 18 for Spelman College, where she joins a sisterhood of powerful connecting black women and marries into an affluent family. Annie, abandoned by her mother as a child and fixated on the idea of finding her and filling the bottomless hole left by her presence, sets off on a journey that will take her into a world as well as love and adventure and culminate in a battle for her life. A novel about mothers and daughters, about friendship and sisterhood, and the complexities of being a woman in the American South. Oh yeah, this sounds like it's going to be really, really good. And again, Tari can write. I would say one thing that I like about her stories and her writing is all her books are different. And I would also have to give her props because her book, oh, what was the book with the two families? Silver Sparrow. I had never read a book where you have a father that he has two families. He's married to two women. Um, and the way that she was able to navigate that, I just never read a story about that. And then also with like An American Marriage, that was a fantastic story. It talks about the, criminal justice system when it comes, to black men. And of course, that's like the same story, unfortunately. But the way that she was able to construct that, it didn't read like the same story. Okay, next is Where the Wallflowers Grow by Tara Sheldon Harris. Now, this author, she wrote a book that we read last year for our book club pick. It is this book. We had a really good discussion, about this book. And after reading it, if she comes up with another book, I probably will want to read it because, and this is another story that I had never read before. You have a young girl, she was raped and she conceived a child. She has her daughter, and years later she like basically leaves Savannah, Georgia, but her father is sickly and she decides to come back to Savannah. She ends up coming across her attacker's family, like his twin brother, and she's trying to figure out, should my daughter have a relationship with them, should they not. I mean, it's, again, it's real deep, but the way that she wrote this, it was so gentle, if that makes sense. Because I mean, this topic is, it's beyond heavy. You get raped, and then not only do you get raped, you get pregnant, and instead of terminating the baby, you decide you want to keep it. And I think that's one thing I liked about this book and how the writer explored it, and she did it so well. Is you always, I know for me, I always wonder about the aftermath of when someone gets, attacked, or someone gets assaulted, and like, what is, we always think about like the act, but we don't think about the after. And then it even hits, higher grounds when you have a child and you know that that child was a product of rape. So, so good. So when I saw that she was coming out with a new book, I said, yes, I have to get it. Leah's the last of the wilds. She knows this because she watched them all die. Grief never fully fades, and even as she tragically haunts her, Leah carries on because survival is in her blood. So when the transport bus taking her to a prison goes off the road, killing everyone on board except her, she does what's in her nature. She survives. While searching for a place to hide, Leah stumbles upon an unexpected sanctuary, a flower farm in rural Alabama tucked away from the world. What Leah doesn't expect is the found family there who have built something from the wreckage of their own lives, especially Jackson, the farmer's owner. But the past isn't so easily buried. No matter how far she runs, the truth, who she is, and the ghosts of the wild follow her. When these secrets catch up to her, threatening everything she comes to love, Leah will have to truly face what she can survive. That sounds really good. It looked like it's gonna be deep, but that sounds really good. Okay. And the last book, this is a romance book, and this is called Janae Sanders' Second Time Around. And this is by LaQuette. I did a year ago a video of me reading, I believe, romances for a week. And I picked her book up. Vanessa Jarrett's Got a Man, I believe. This book, the cover is bomb. I like her little take on the names. Nate Sanders, Second Time Around, and Vanessa Jarrett's Got a Man. This is a what is a second chance romance. It says a single mom gets a second chance at love with her high school sweetheart. Of love after divorce, Janae Sanders focuses on the best thing in her life, her son James, and her bestie, the savvy, sexy, and single club. As for romance, not today, Satan. That is until high school heartthrob Adam Henderson crashes back into her life after their 20-year reunion. But just when Janae considers dating again, the new superintendent of James's school district slashes his beloved art program. Instead of getting her groove back, Janae gets her protest on. When a school board meeting is called and they both realize they've been dating the enemy, oh Lord. Janae gives Adam two choices: restore the program or lose her. Adam proposes a third option: one weekend at his cabin to talk it all out, funding the arts and old feelings too. When her girls cheer her on, Janae must decide if she is willing to risk it. Okay, that sounds like that's going to be a wild ride. Also, too, I believe one of the girls that was in this book, I believe that's, yeah, that's one of the characters because I remember that little, that savvy, sexy single club. Yeah, I think she was in that. Yeah, she is. Okay, I just saw Janae. Oh, okay. I'm trying to remember her character. I don't. I just remember Vanessa. Yeah, that'll be good to revisit Vanessa in this book and just see Janae's story. Oh yeah, I'm really excited about this. And this cover is just so pretty. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. Like from what I can remember, I did like her writing. She told a story as opposed to, sometimes in romance, it's like they just slept on all that sex and it's like I get it's a romance, but that's all y'all doing is just jumping in the bed. No, with her, it was actually a story. I'm really excited about this one. So, yeah, guys, that is it when it comes to my anticipated reads for 2026 so far. The only ones that I'm really seeing so far that really has caught my eye. It looks like it's going to be another year of good historical fiction books because these black authors, like I always say, they have been pumping out the historical fiction novels, y'all. Oh, I've read so many good historical fiction novels this year, and I'm just so excited to continue that and learn about more people that I do not know. But yeah, guys, that's all I have for you, and I'll be back with more black books. Bye.